The enemy placed every obstacle in your path on purpose, because he knows where you are going, and he is terrified of what happens when you get there. So he built the walls higher, the giants bigger, the battles harder. But he forgot one thing. God already decided the ending, and he decided it in your favor. Run toward it. The giant standing, I have felt the ground beneath me shake. I have heard the voice of failure telling me I had too much to take. But the God who breathed the morning put the fire in my chest, did not bring me to this battle just to fall like all the rest. The bigger the giant standing, the greater the God behind the storm. The harder the road before me, the closer I am to coming home. Run toward it, don't you dare turn back. Run toward it, every giant, every attack. God already wrote the ending. God already won the war. Run toward it, that's what warriors are for. Samson stood in the temple of the Philistines, blind, chained, humiliated. Everything the enemy had taken from him, his strength, his sight, his freedom. And in that moment, chained between two pillars, he prayed one last prayer. Lord, remember me. Just that. Lord, remember me. And God answered. And in one moment, Samson destroyed more enemies than he had in his entire life. Your greatest moment of impact may come from your lowest point. The enemy thought he had finished you. He only positioned you. Lord, remember me. God hears that prayer, and he answers it. Every scar upon my body is a story of a war I didn't lose. Every night I hit the bottom was the night God lit the fuse. For the fire burning in me was not put there to go out. It was placed here for the battle that the enemy knows about. Run toward it, don't you dare turn back. Run toward it, every giant, every attack. God already wrote the ending. God already won the war. Run toward it, that's what warriors are for. The enemy is not fighting you randomly. He is fighting you strategically. He knows your assignment. He knows your calling. He knows what God placed inside you, and he has been trying to stop it since before you were born. Every attack has been targeted, not because you are weak, but because you are dangerous to everything the enemy is building. Run toward it, because the enemy already knows. He loses when you arrive. Retreat in silence. I will not bow before the night. I was made before the morning. I was chosen for this fight. Every weapon formed against me is a weapon God already broke. I will rise from every ending. I will stand through every smoke. Don't you dare turn back. Run toward it, every giant, every attack. God already wrote the ending. God already won the war. Run toward and said, "Lord, remember me." And God answered, "He remembers you too." Run toward it. The ending is already written, and it is in your favor. You think the story is over. You think God moved on. You think the best chapter's already passed and what's left is just survival. But hear this. The God who stopped for one man in a crowd of thousands, stopped for a man everyone had given up on, is stopping for you right now. He is looking up at your tree and he is calling your name. The story is not over. It is just beginning. So many trees now, just to catch a glimpse of grace, just to see if there was something in this God who knows my face. Every crowd has tried to bury me in all the wrong I've done, but the one I climbed to look for looked at me and called me son. What the crowd wrote off as hopeless, Jesus stopped and called by name. What the world said was too far gone, he walked into and stayed. God is not done with you, not even close. God is not done with you, he's something new. God is not done with you. Zacchaeus was the most hated man in Jericho. A tax collector, a traitor, a thief. The crowd despised him, and he was too short to see Jesus through the crowd. So he ran ahead and climbed a tree just to get a glimpse. And Jesus stopped, looked up, and said, "Zacchaeus, come down. I must stay at your house today." Not, "I will consider you." Not, "Let me think about it." I must. Jesus had an appointment with the man everyone else had given up on. You feel like everyone has given up on you, like you climbed the tree and nobody noticed. But Jesus is stopping, looking up, and calling your name. Come down! He has an appointment with you today. Every door I thought was closing was the door God walked me through. Every ending I was dreading became the moment something new. I have run ahead of mercy just to find it running back. And the God I thought had left me was already on my track. God is not done with you, not even close. God is not done with you, he's already here. Every chapter you thought was finished, he is writing something new. God is not done with you. The crowd murmured when Jesus went to Zacchaeus. They said, "He has gone to be the guest of a sinful man." And Jesus didn't answer the crowd. He kept walking towards Zacchaeus. What people say about you does not determine where Jesus goes. He goes where he chooses, and he chose you. Before you climbed the tree, before you ran ahead, before you even knew you were looking for him, he was already on his way to you. God is not done with you. He never started stopping. broken ones like me, and the story he is writing is the one that sets me free. God is not done with you, not even close. God is not done with you, he's already here. Every chapter you thought was finished, he is writing something new. God is not done with you. Not done, not finished, not through. God is not done with you. He is writing something new. God is not done with you. Jesus said, I must stay at your house today. Not maybe, not if you deserve it. I must. He has an appointment with you today. Come down. The story is not over. God is not done with you. You have been emptied. Everything you built, gone. Everyone you loved, gone. And you are walking back to a place that reminds you of everything you lost. Hear this. Naomi walked back to Bethlehem empty. She said, call me bitter, because the Almighty has dealt bitterly with me, and God did not rebuke her. He met her in the bitterness, and what came out of her emptiness changed the entire lineage of humanity. He came for the broken. He always has. I have walked through seasons of losing. I have felt the weight of empty hands. I have cried the prayer of the bitter. Lord, I don't think you understand. But the God who hears the mourning never turned his face from pain. He came into the darkness and he called me by my name. What felt like God abandoning was God still holding on. What felt like total emptiness was where his grace was strongest all along. He came for the broken. He always comes. He came for the empty, the lost and the undone. Every wound you've been hiding, every scar you cannot name. He came for the broken and he's coming just the same. Naomi lost her husband, then her 2 sons, in a foreign land with nothing left. She told her daughters-in-law to go back. She said, I have nothing to give you. Go back to your people, your gods, your future, because mine is gone. But Ruth held on and said, where you go, I will go. Your God will be my God. And Naomi walked back to Bethlehem, empty, bitter, broken. And from that emptiness, Ruth gleaned a field, met a man named Boaz. And the lineage that came from that broken moment eventually produced David. And from David, Jesus. Your emptiness is not the end of the story. God builds his greatest chapters from the moments that feel most empty. He came for Naomi in her bitterness. He is coming for you and yours. Every bitter prayer I prayed now, every night I felt undone, was the place where grace came running, was the field where hope begun. Like the gleaner in the harvest, finding mercy row by row, God was leaving something for me in the place I didn't know. He came for the broken. He always comes. He came for the empty, the lost and the undone. Every wound you've been hiding, every scar you cannot name. He came for the broken and he's coming just the same. Naomi said, call me Mara, call me bitter. And God didn't argue. He just kept working. He kept placing people in her path, He kept opening doors she couldn't see. He kept building something from the rubble of everything she lost. You don't have to pretend it doesn't hurt. You don't have to perform your faith. Tell him you are empty. Tell him you are bitter. Tell him exactly where you are, because that is exactly where he is going to meet you. He came for the broken. He doesn't wait for you to be fixed first. He came for the broken. He always comes. He came for the empty, the lost and the undone. Every wound you've been hiding, every scar you cannot name. He came for the broken, and he's coming just the same. He came for you. He came for the broken, and he's coming just the same. Naomi walked back empty, and God filled her story with more than she ever imagined. Tell him you are empty. That is the right prayer. He came for the broken. He is already on his way. Simeon waited his entire life for one promise. He had been told he would not die before he saw the salvation of God, and he waited, and he waited. And then one day, Mary walked into the temple with a baby named Jesus, and Simeon held him and said, "Lord, now let your servant depart in peace, for my eyes have seen your salvation. Every promise God made you, he will fulfill. You will hold it in your hands. Death could not keep the promise from Simeon, and it cannot keep yours from you." Silence. Every dawn that came too slow was the God who holds his promise, walking closer than I know. What the grave could not contain now, what the stone could not hold down, is the same power living in me, turning every loss around. Keep him, the grave gave way. Death could not keep him. He rose on the third day, and the same power that walked out of the tomb is walking through my life today. Death could not keep him, and it cannot keep what he promised me. On the third morning, the stone was rolled away, not so Jesus could get out. He had already risen. The stone was rolled away so the disciples could see in, so they could see the grave clothes lying there, folded undisturbed. He didn't leave in a hurry. He left in total victory. The tomb was not a prison he escaped from. It was a place death tried to hold him and failed. Every diagnosis, every debt, every broken dream, everything the enemy told you was your tomb is about to be shown for what it is, a place that cannot hold what God promised you. Death could not keep him, and it cannot keep what he placed in you. Every chain the darkness forged me fell before the risen King. Every night that felt like ending was the dawn beginning to begin. For the God who crushed the serpent and who silenced every grave is the God who walks beside me through every valley that I face. Death could not keep him, the grave gave way. Death could not keep him, he rose on the third day, and the same power that walked out of the tomb is walking through my life today. Death could not keep him, and it cannot keep what he promised me. Simeon held the promise in his arms after a lifetime of waiting, and he said, "Now I can go in peace because I have seen it." Whatever you have been waiting for, whatever promise feels like it has been delayed too long, God is walking it towards you right now. You will hold it in your arms, just like Simeon held Jesus. The promise is already on its way. Death could not keep it. Nothing can! My voice in thunder, I will shake the gates of night. For the God who rose on Sunday put his victory in my fight. Every power formed against me bows before the empty grave. I was born inside a promise, and the promise has been paid. Keep him, the grave gave way. Death could not keep him, he rose on the third day, and the same power that walked out of the tomb is walking through my life today. Death could not keep him, and it cannot keep what he promised me. Death could not keep him. The grave gave way. Death could not keep him, and it cannot keep what he promised me. Simeon waited a lifetime and held the promise in his arms. You will too. Death could not keep him, and it cannot keep what God promised you. Hold on. Before Joshua fought the battle of Ai, God said, "Do not be afraid. I have delivered them into your hands," past tense. Before the first soldier marched, before the first arrow flew, before the battle even started, God said, "I have delivered them." The outcome was decided in heaven before it was fought on earth. Your battle was decided the same way. Before you woke up this morning, before the enemy made his move, God already decided, and he decided in your favor. I have stood before the darkness, I have heard the war drum sound, I have felt the weight of battle, every enemy around. But before I raised my weapon, before I took my fighting stand, Joshua chapter 8. After the defeated Ai because of Achan's sin, God said, "Do not be discouraged. Take the whole army, go up to Ai. I have delivered the king of Ai into your hands." And God gave Joshua a strategy, an ambush. Half the army in front, half hidden behind. And when the men of Ai came out to fight, the hidden army rose and took the city. And the men of Ai looked behind them, and the city was on fire. They had no way to escape. God's strategy was perfect, his timing was perfect, his victory was total. You don't need to figure out how to win your battle. You need to trust the one who already planned the ambush. God has a strategy for what you are facing, and it is already in motion. The battle was already won. Every stronghold has to answer, every fortress has to fall. In the name that conquered death, now Jesus standing over all. For the God who planned the ambush long before the battle came is the same God walking with me through the fire and the flame. The battle was already won before the fight began. The battle was already won by the nail-scarred hand. Every giant, every darkness, every power, every throne. The battle was already won. We never fight alone. Colossians 2:15 says, "Having disarmed the powers and authorities, he made a public spectacle of them, triumphing over them by the cross." Disarmed. The enemy is fighting with empty hands. Every weapon he picks up, Jesus already took it at the cross. Every fear he tries to send you is a weapon he no longer owns. He is fighting with empty hands, and you are fighting with the resurrection. The battle was already won. Act like it. Hey! I will walk into the battle with the confidence of heaven. Every enemy before me knows the outcome, it is 7. For the God who crushed the serpent gave the victory to me. And I walk into this battle as the warrior I was born to be. The battle was already won before the fight began. The battle was already won by the nail-scarred hand. Every giant, every darkness, every power, every throne. The battle was already won. We never fight alone. Was already won. God said to Joshua, "I have delivered them." Past tense before the battle. He is saying the same thing to you right now. I have delivered them. It is already gone. Walk in that truth today. The battle was already won. Jeremiah was thrown into a cistern, into the mud, into the dark, by the very people he was trying to save, and he sat in that pit and wrote, "Is it nothing to you all who pass by? Look and see if there is any sorrow like my sorrow." He cried out from the pit, and God heard him, because God had signed his name on Jeremiah before he was born. And what God signs, no pit can erase, no enemy can touch, no cistern can contain. God signed your name, and it can never be undone. The cistern, they have covered me with mud. They have told me I was finished, that my story ended. before creation. I was sealed before I breathed. God signed your name before you knew his face. God signed your name and sealed it with his grace. Every pit the enemy dug for you, every lie he tried to claim, cannot touch what God already wrote. God signed your name. Jeremiah 1:5. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. God didn't say, I noticed you after you were born. He said, before I formed you, I knew you. Before your mother held you, before anyone knew your name, God already knew everything about you. Every gift, every purpose, every calling. And then Jeremiah was thrown in a cistern into the mud, into the dark, by the people he served. And God sent Ebed-Melech to pull him out with rags and ropes. God always sends a deliverer for the ones whose name he signed. You are in a pit right now, but your name is still signed. And God is already sending your Ebed-Melech. Hold on. Every voice that called me worthless, every name the enemy gave, falls apart before the covenant that God made before the grave. For the king who signed the document could not take the promise back, and the God who signed my purpose sealed it with the blood he spilled on that. God signed your name before you knew his face. God signed your name and sealed it with his grace. Every pit the enemy dug for you, every lie he tried to claim, cannot touch what God already wrote. God signed your name. Ephesians 1:13 says, you were marked in him with a seal, the promised Holy Spirit, marked, sealed by God himself. Not by your performance, not by your perfection, not by how many times you got it right, by his choice, his decision, his signature. And no enemy in hell, no failure in your past, no pit deep enough, no mud thick enough can reverse what God already signed. You are marked, you are sealed, you are his. Walk out of the pit like you know whose name is on you. No more hiding in the cistern, no more living in the mud. I was pulled out by the mercy of a God who shed his blood. Every chain the pit has forged now falls apart at Jesus' name. I am signed, I am sealed, I am chosen. I will never be the same. God signed your name before you knew his face. God signed your name and sealed it with his grace. Every pit the enemy dug for you, every lie he tried to claim, cannot touch what God already wrote. God signed your name. God signed. God signed. God signed your name before you knew his face. God signed your name, and it can never be erased. Jeremiah sat in the mud, and God sent a deliverer with rags and ropes. God always sends a deliverer for the ones whose name he signed. Hold on. Your name is still signed, and he is already sending someone. Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, thrown into a furnace. So hot it killed the soldiers who threw them in. And the king looked into the fire and saw 4 men walking, not 3, 4. And the 4th looked like a son of the gods. Jesus was in the fire with them, not watching from outside, not sending an angel. He was in the fire, walking with them. And when they came out, Not one hair was singed, not one thread of their clothing burned. They didn't even smell like smoke. He stands between you and the fire. He always has. Into the furnace, I have felt the heat around my face. I have stood inside the fire that was meant to leave no trace. But the God who walks in fire never left my side within. And the flames that were to break me couldn't touch a hair of skin. Every arrow, every fire, every darkness at my door has to pass through God to reach me, and it cannot reach what God stands before. He stands between me and the flame. He stands between every attack that comes my way. No weapon formed against me, no fire, no flood, no chain can reach what God has covered. He stands between. The king said, I see 4 men walking in the fire, unbound and unharmed, and the 4th looks like a son of the gods. They went into the fire bound, they came out unbound. The fire burned the ropes, not the men. Whatever has you bound right now, God is going to let the fire burn the thing that was holding you, not you. The furnace did not destroy them, it freed them. What feels like it is destroying you may be the very thing God is using to burn off what was binding you. He stands between you and the flame, and he is walking in the fire with you right now. Every shadow that has followed, every darkness at my door, every scheme the enemy planted, God has crushed it to the floor. For the angel of the Lord now camps around the ones he loves, and no weapon formed against me passes through his hands above. He stands between me and the flame. He stands between every attack that comes my way. No weapon formed against me, no fire, no flood, no chain can reach what God has covered. He stands between. Isaiah 43:2 says, when you walk through the fire, you will not be burned. The flames will not set you ablaze, not if you walk through fire when God did not promise you would never face the fire. He promised the fire would not consume you. There is a difference. You are in the fire right now, but you are not alone in it. He is walking with you, and when you come out, you will not smell like smoke. If the furnace is where you are, I will follow you through fire, through the darkness and the scar. For the God who walked with Shadrach walks with me through every flame, and I come out of the burning, never ever the same. He stands between me and the flame. He stands between every attack that comes my way. No weapon formed against me, no fire, no flood, no chain can reach what God has covered. He stands between. He stands between. He stands between, and he will never move away. The king saw 4 in the fire, and the 4th looked like a son of the gods. Jesus was in the fire with them. He is in the fire with you right now. You will not be burned. You will not smell like smoke. He stands between He always has. Monica prayed for her son Augustine for 30 years. 30 years of watching him walk away. 30 years of tears she cried in secret. 30 years of prayers that felt unanswered, and a bishop told her, "It is impossible for a son of so many tears to perish." 30 years. And Augustine came home and became one of the greatest voices of faith in the history of the world. Your tears are not falling on deaf ears. God hears every prayer prayed in the dark, and not one of them is wasted, not one. I will not stop praying. Every child, every family member, every wandering, every ghost. Lord, you see them in the darkness. Lord, you know them by their name. Every prodigal you're chasing, every lost one you reclaim. A mother's prayer never dies now. A father's cry is never lost. Every tear that fell in secret, God already counted every cost. I will not stop praying, not for one more day. I will not stop praying. God hears what I say. Every name I bring before Him, every soul I lift in pain. God is working on the ones I love. I will not stop praying. In Luke 18, Jesus told a parable of a widow who kept coming before a judge. Day after day, request after request, and the judge, who neither feared God nor cared about people, finally gave her justice, simply because she kept coming. And Jesus said, "Will not God bring about justice for His chosen ones who cry out to Him day and night? He will see that they get justice, and quickly." If a godless judge responded to persistence, how much more will a God who loves you respond to your prayers? Keep coming, keep asking, keep knocking. The door is not closed. It is being opened. Your prayers for the ones you love are not falling on deaf ears. God is working on everyone you love. Right now, tonight, keep praying. For the prodigal still running, for the one who walked away. God is running out to meet them. He is waiting for the day when they turn and see Him standing, arms wide open, full of grace. Every prayer you prayed in secret brought them closer to that place. I will not stop praying, not for one more day. I will not stop praying. God hears what I say. Every name I bring before Him, every soul I lift in pain. God is working on the ones I love. I will not stop praying. Exodus 12. God told Israel, "Put the blood of the lamb on the doorpost of your house. And when I see the blood, I will pass over you, and no plague will destroy you." The blood on the doorpost protected the entire family inside. Not just the one who put it there, the entire family. Tonight, the blood of Jesus is on the doorpost of your family. Every child, every spouse, every parent, every prodigal, covered by the blood of Jesus. The enemy cannot cross that bloodline. He has no authority over what Jesus already covered. Your family is covered. Declare it. My family is covered by the blood of the Lamb. I will pray until the morning. I will stand until they come. I will never stop believing for the lost and wayward ones, for For the God who chases prodigals, for the God who hears my cry, will not rest until my family stands before him by and by. I will not stop praying, not for one more day. I will not stop praying. God hears what I say. Every name I bring before him, every soul I lift in pain. God is working on the ones I love. I will not stop praying. Not stopping, not quitting, not for one more day. I will not stop praying. God is working on the ones I love. I will not stop praying. Monica prayed for 30 years, and Augustine came home. Your prodigal is coming home. Your lost one is coming home. God heard every prayer you prayed at 3 a.m. when no one else was watching. He was watching. Keep praying. Not one tear is forgotten. Not one prayer is wasted. I will not stop praying.